I think my goal for 2020 is to have my wrap-ups actually come out on time. We'll see if that happens, because it certainly isn't happening in December for November's wrap-up. I already know it. Hi everybody, I'm Jessica Nicole Dickerson and welcome back to another video. So in today's video we're going to do an October wrap-up, so all the books I read in October. I had a very interesting reading month and I will get more into it. Some books greatly disappoint me and some books were absolutely fabulous, like new favorites maybe? Getting into the books that I read for the month of October, the first two books I read were two mangas. I read Full Moon, which is a manga series, a shoujo manga, so it's leaning more towards girls' perspectives. I don't remember the author, but I'll put a picture up. And basically this story is about a girl who has a kind of disease where her throat is like in harm's way if she speaks too much or sings, but her dream in life is to be a singer, and she wants to be a singer, but at the same time she also wants to sing for a particular person. She wants to get a message across. And in this world, people who have committed suicide or who commit suicide become these kind of angels, and they look over people who may possibly consider suicide to either guide them or not. It's up for debate in the mangas, but it's really cool how they talk about that. They talk about life and how fragile it is, and your dreams and goals and passions. It's all very cute. So I gave both volumes 4 stars, and I think I'm in the middle of the 3rd volume right now. It's very cute, and I absolutely love it. The next book I managed to finish was Full Disclosure by Cameron Garrett. So this is definitely going to be a new favorite author. I'm going to be on the lookout for her. This is her debut novel, and I got this from a friend from Twitter. I won like an ARC kind of giveaway, so thank you very much. I don't remember who sent it to me off the top of my head, so I'm a bad person, my bad. And if you want more reactions to me reading this, definitely check out one of my reading vlogs where I read this. This story is about a young girl, Simone, who has transferred schools because something happened at her last school, which is uncovered in this book. But this teen has HIV, she's exploring her sexuality, and she wants love, basically. And it's a very cute, romantic story. It's all about relationships, figuring out her relationships to herself, to her best friends, sexual relationships with her possible boyfriend, girlfriend, you know, and relationship with her parents. She's also adopted. So there's such great natural rep in this, and I absolutely loved it. And I gave it 4 stars. The reason I knocked it down half a star is that I found some of the dialogue to be kind of hit or miss sometimes. I flagged a few things that I was like, where I was questioning it, but there were so many great things about this book. I love the fact that the main girl, Simone, is a student director for Rent, and all the theatrical references to this. I found the dialogue between her and her crush to be very cute and lovable. It gave me To All the Boys You Loved Before vibes, so I absolutely adored that. I also really liked the conversation around sex education. Was amazing. I loved it. I also really enjoyed the exploration of sexuality in this. They talked a lot about ace characters, bi, and queer characters in general. There was so much amazing natural rep in this. I just really adored it. So I absolutely love this, and I'm definitely keeping my eye out for more books from Cameron Garrett. The next book I managed to read is honestly probably a new all-time favorite of life. Strange a Dreamer by Laini Taylor. Don't ask me why it took me so long to read this. I know, I am ashamed of myself, genuinely. But this was so incredible. I don't want to talk about it too much because I do have a whole reading vlog where I rave about it so much. But basically, I find this book to be very much like my favorite book of all time, The Giver. The two things they have in similar to me is the world building. I find that fantasy tends to spoon feed world building to you, that these are the rules, these are the laws, this is how everything works, this is how society is, and they just tell you it. Whereas I feel like Laini Taylor does it in such a secretive and suspenseful way that you never really know exactly what's going on until like 100 pages later. She'll introduce a fact and then she'll move on, and then she'll give you an answer like 50 pages later. Some people may not love it. I totally understand why some people don't enjoy this book. But for people who really like suspenseful storytelling, you'll really love this. In case you don't know about Strange the Dreamer, basically it is a story about Laszlo Strange, a librarian who we don't know his past, and he has this dream of going to the city of Weep, and Weep is this forgotten city that no one believes in, and then one day he has a chance to chase his dream. In essence, that's all you should really know going into it. You also don't need to know anything going into this. I feel like Laini Taylor does such a great job of just knowing you know nothing and toying with you and slowly introducing you to things in such a like exciting but painfully like, ow, I want to know everything. And I'm very excited to read Muse of Nightmares now. So I gave this a 5 stars, and I highly recommend this, man. If anyone has recommendations of other books that are like this, let me know. I want more. The very next book that I was able to jump into, and also the book that disappointed me the most, A Dark Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. I'm sorry. Don't come for me. I did not enjoy this as much as I was hoping for. I definitely was expecting a lot more than what I got. I gave this a 3.5 star. I found myself not invested in the characters. Like, the characters were doing cool things, but I didn't care for them, if that makes sense. They were going through worlds and doing things and solving the problem, but I didn't care for them. If they had died, I would have been like, oops, they died. In this fantasy world, I feel like the world was a little spoon-fed to you. The only mystery that I still don't know is that where these two characters came from. So I like that aspect, but I feel like everything else was just given to us. The circumstances, the stakes, why he's doing it and why she's doing it, and their internal dialogue was really obvious when they were not being genuine. They would literally say, I know I shouldn't do this, you know? So it was just kind of very straightforward, and I also found the plot to not be very interesting because from the very beginning we knew that there was this bad thing and that it needed to go away. And the whole book was just getting rid of this thing. They knew how they were going to do it. They knew that they had to do it. They were just going to do it. And there was obstacles in their way of doing it, of course. But it was just that simple, we need to get this done. So I found that I was not engaged. I was kind of bored throughout this book. I do give it a 3.5 because I do like the writing. I thought the writing was very interesting. And I loved the world itself. Even though it was very obvious the magical traits or lack of magical traits or darkness of a world, the worlds were so amazing and the magic system was really cool, and I really appreciated that aspect of this story. But the plot and characters, I wasn't invested until A Gathering of Shadows, which has me so excited because this is literally a 5 star. This is everything I wanted. I'm gonna say 4.5. This is not a 5. This is a 4.5. I'm so excited. Can you tell? Can you tell? This was so great because I got everything I wanted. I started to care more for the characters. We got introduced to more characters. The only issue that I had with this book really was the fact that the first 100 pages, there was no insightful incident to have me continue reading. I almost DNF'd it, but I kept going and I'm so happy I did. But the first chapter and the first like 7 chapters were interesting. We started to learn more about Kel and Lila, but it was just, you know, it felt like it was filling space. Victoria Schwab was kind of introducing what we had missed between book 1 and book 2. So she was kind of filling in the gaps, but it took 100 pages and I feel like the first like spark happened at like 115 or something. You can also watch my vlog to see my reactions to this. I was on my vlogging game for a hot second, guys, so be proud of me. But yeah, everything following page like 100 was so amazing. I learned to care so much for Lila, and I think that's also attributed to the first 100 pages and getting to see her be herself. So I feel like it was incredible, and the storyline also picks up so much. There's these games happening in the second book, and I find that to be very tropey, to have this elitist game that people have to like fight in, and that's how we represent power. Almost every comic book, story, movie, anything has this competitions and trials that people have to go through. But it was done in such a way that I really appreciated it. It was something new, and it was political, and there was purpose behind everything. Another kind of comment that I have to mention that I didn't really like is that I didn't understand Kel's drive to wanting to participate in the games, but I also think that alludes to a little bit of the mystery in his life and what he's going through after all the events that happened in the first book. but sometimes I just felt it was just not as believable. But holy, oh my god, the second book was so amazing, and it makes me so happy because I was really upset with A Darker Shade of Magic. I was expecting so much more, and I feel like this gave me everything that I wanted. Everything. I care for Lila, I care for Kel, I care for Ray. Is his name Ray? Rye. And I just care for all of them, and it's so interesting. Oh, and I have no idea how this is going to progress. I am halfway through A Conjuring of Light though, so I'm very, very excited. Those are all the books I read. So I didn't read too much, but I did manage to read one disappointing book and read 3 really exciting books. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and yeah, comment down below, is there a hype book that you didn't like? Let me know. I'm wondering and let me know, did the hype of the book ruin it for you, or is it because you genuinely just like the book was not at all what you liked? But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and yeah, comment down below, let me know, and yeah, subscribe, do those YouTube things. Sorry, I'm so awkward, but yeah, do the thing, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.